Well, hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Deb Sofield, and welcome to the new year. Congratulations, you made it for another round. You're listening to Encouragement for Your Life, a radio talk show that really encourages you to learn to live to your full potential. Why? Because, friends, I want you to do what you were born to do. People often say, hey, Deb, why do you do a show? Well, I believe that I've got some things I'd like to share with you that will help you in your everyday walk. And I want that so we can work together and we can help find your path for outrageous success. I'm the author of the book, Speak Without Fear, your guide on rockstar presentation skills to get people to hear what you say. You can buy my book on Amazon.com. And I hope you'll sign up on my website for my newsletter that comes out every week after the show. You can find me at debsofield.com. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. I've got a wonderful show with an exciting guest in this new year. Well, friends, you survived the holidays, and now it's the new year, a fresh start, and you have a great chance to start over and begin anew. So, what will this year be? What new ideas do you have? What new places will you visit? What new adventures will you try? And then what will you leave behind? What problem or issue or circumstance will you make a clean break from so you can start with a clean slate? What? You've not thought about leaving the old and finding a great adventure in the new year? Oh, wait a second. I thought you were planning on getting things done, finishing your projects, cleaning out the files to begin your new week, year. Oh, but if you're like me, you're probably just simply taking it slow and maybe reordering your days to provide the right amount of time to rest so you can regroup and renew to take on the world. And that's okay. Our friend, it's a new year, a fresh start. And I think we should refocus on where you're heading. I know the holidays are tough times for some people. For some, they're just a few days of great joy and peace and love, spending it with friends and family. And for others, it's just another couple weeks on the calendar. But no matter where you fall on the spectrum of great joy or back to work, I'm asking that now you're back. What's next? Have you made a plan to accomplish something new or big or different this year? I hope so, because success takes careful planning, and I believe that anyone can be successful and accomplish great things with the right tools and mindset and a quick reflex to grab hold of opportunity as it passes by. Let me remind you that even if you've just come through a hard season of life or love or business, I want you to see the opportunity to come alive with the joy of a fresh start in the new year, a new occasion, and maybe even a new you. You see, I love the idea of a new year and a fresh start. Recently, I was reading about how different countries ring in the new year. And while each culture's New Year celebration has its own flavor, there are certain common themes. The period leading up to the New Year's Day is a time for setting things straight, a thorough house cleaning, pay off debts, returning borrowed objects, reflecting on one's shortcomings, mending quarrels, and giving alms. And I love the different stories how in many cultures people jump into the sea or a local body of water, literally washing the slate clean. Many local customs stem from a similar belief that by ending the old year with respect and beginning the new year in the way we would like to begin, we establish our intentions for the new year. Whether we gather together to watch the ball drop in Times Square, or set off firecrackers at midnight, or clink glasses with our loved ones, we're acknowledging an important transition and welcoming a fresh start. So, whether you're going to do the polar bear jump or simply return things that are borrowed from this last year, I want to remind you that now's a good time to think about your fresh start and focus on where you're headed. As I was talking with some friends during the holiday break, I had to provide a little comfort to a couple of them who were going through hard times. So much so that they really had not thought about what new adventure or fresh start that they would consider this year. In fact, the idea of doing anything more than crying seemed to be out of the picture. Now, I'm not a real sentimental person, so tears make me uncomfortable, especially when the person who's crying can't tell you why they're crying. Between the staccato gasps for air and the words tumbling out about love, life, and loss, I sort of got the picture. But after a long day of intermittent tears, around 5 o'clock, I had to say, hey, it's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't unpack and live there. Listen, I know life's hard, but you're going to be okay, even if you don't feel like it today. You're just going to have to trust me that you'll be okay, or at least okay enough to push through, even if you think you can't. It's amazing what you can do when you get mad enough to make a fresh start. So my theme today is from the quote, "Don't forget that you're human. It's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't unpack and live there. Cry it out and then refocus on where you're headed." And I want to add to that, since it's the new year, you have a clean slate to create whatever life you want. You have a clean slate to create whatever dream you have, whatever purpose you feel you need to accomplish. You see, the key to every successful adventure is to focus on where you're headed. Where are you headed now that you're divorced? Where are you headed now that you've lost your job? Where are you headed now that the door life closed on you has left you outside of all you've ever known and held so dear? See, friend, if you don't stop and make a plan, or at the very least, refocus on where you're going, if you don't see the vast opportunity of a clean slate to create your future, you might not end up in a better place. And that not only will be a waste of time and energy, it could also end up costing you more than you expected. For many listening, crying may not be how you show your emotions. That's okay. Just promise me that no matter what you do, when you come up for air after you've hit bottom, that you won't just float along with the current, but you will reach out to someone for a lifeline to grab onto to help you find your way to the shore. You see, the greatest danger is after it all melts down and leaves you with what you perceive as nothing, is that you don't just stop and wallow in tears and anger and destruction. Most people will agree it's okay to have a meltdown. Cry it out, let it go, funnel that energy into a long run or a swim. Put some focus on your pain and then work it out, not to your detriment, but to your healing. And once that's done and you rebound even a little bit, keep moving in the right direction because you're human and it's okay to have a meltdown. Just don't unpack and live there. Friends, refocus on where you're headed, understanding that you choose to begin the new year in the way you would like for it to begin. And for some listening, you are simply going to have to begin again, and that's okay. Those who unpack and live in the mire of lost love or rejection or idleness, they have a hard time getting back up and getting out there. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but friends, life and power are very much like a vacuum. If you step aside, someone else will take your place. And that is why you must refocus on where you're heading. And at this time of year, I think you should be grateful that you are in the season of new beginnings, a new year, a fresh start. So don't hang on to the old, the broken, the dirty, and the sad. You're better than that. And even if you feel broken, remember, feelings are in your mind and you can change your mind at any time. You may not believe me now, but some of you one day will be glad that you were given the opportunity to pursue your dreams, since everything else seems to have fallen away, because you've got nowhere to go, friend, but up from here. Life has handed you a clean slate to start again. You are now free to dream, to hope, to become. Your wings are no longer clipped or even tied. Now you're free. Don't be afraid to fly. The cage door is open. You can always come back and nest, but you've been given the freedom to fly. Friend, shake out those wings and get ready to go. Without a doubt, many people found their life's love and joy, their new opportunity and hope, the wholeness and calmness of their new situation that is no longer burdened by the old, the broken, the dirty, and the sad. And many of you will find it in the ashes of what was. It would have never happened if life hadn't changed around you, and you're refocused on where you're headed to. No one said it would be easy, because, friend, it never is. We're just glad that you persevered through the hard times to see the safety of the shore and feel the breeze of a new start at a new year for a new you. It's my wish that your new year be rich with all the blessings that you desire. Hope you'll stay tuned. My guest coming on halfway through the show is Dr. Leslie Burgess. We're going to talk about health and happiness in the new year. I'm Deb Sofield. This is Encouragement for Your Life. Stay tuned and Happy New Year. Hi Hi, I'm Deb Sofield, author of the book Speak Without Fear. If you've ever needed help crafting the right message for shareholders' address or a national sales meeting or a conference, call me. I can help you craft your message for success. If you're in leadership or would like to be, you know how important it is to be able to present well. I'm a national speaker and an executive speech and corporate presentations coach. Don't waste your time or your company's money on those who claim to be a coach, but no one would ever pay to hear them speak. Hire someone who does this for a living and does it well and is successful. You can't afford not to because it's about you being rock star amazing. Call me. I'd like to be on your team. I'd like to be your coach. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. Here's your Supercuts Paul Mitchell Special of the Month. Get 20% off Tea Tree Styling Gel with any service at Supercuts. Men will like how this styling gel builds body, adds texture, and controls unruly hair. And why not relax with the Tea Tree experience? An 8-minute scalp massage and a hot towel treatment to invigorate the senses. Go to supercuts.com for a location near you. Supercuts, hair styling that brings out your best appearance. All right, we're back again. So it's the New Year's show, and happy to be with you on this Saturday. I hope you're having a good time spending it with friends and family or getting those decorations out of the house, back up in the attic. Believe it or not, all the hard work you did to get it started, it's all over. But I want to remind you that that may be over, but friend, you have a clean slate to start again. There is nothing that stands in your way as you take the time to think and focus on this new year. And I think it's interesting when I think about the new year because I actually love New Year's Day. I like the concept of beginning again. And I came across some really interesting articles. This is from Scott McConnell, and he talks about the meaning of a new year. And he says this: the meaning of most holidays is clear. Valentine's Day celebrates romance, July 4th, independence, Thanksgiving, productivity, Christmas, goodwill towards men, and the meaning of New Year's Day, one of the world's most celebrated holidays, is not so clear. On this day, many people remember last year's achievements and failures and look forward to the promise of a new year, of a new beginning. But this celebration and reflection is a result of more than an accident on the calendar, because, friends, New Year's has a very deep significance. On New Year's Day, when the singing and the fireworks and the toasts are over, many of us become more serious about life. We take stock and plan a new course of action to better our lives. This is seen in one of those popular customs in the key to the meaning of New Year's, making resolutions. On average, Americans make 1.8 New Year's resolutions each time. When the rest of the world is taken into account, the number of people making resolutions skyrockets to the hundreds of millions. From New York to Paris to Sydney, interesting similarities arise as shown in two very common resolutions. Here they are. Most people want to be more attractive by losing weight and to be healthier by exercising more and smoking less. You see, they want to do things to be better and become better people. What I like is this line: New Year's Day is the most active-minded holiday because it is where most people stop to reevaluate their lives and plan and resolve to take action. One dramatic example of taking resolutions seriously is the old European custom of what one does on this day, one will do for the rest of the year. And what unites this custom and the more common type of resolution is that on the first day of the year, people take their values more seriously. Now, values are not only physical and external, they can also be psychological. Many New Year's resolutions reveal that people want to better themselves by improving psychologically. For example, look at your own resolutions over the years. Haven't they included such vows as be more patient with your children, improve your self-esteem, be more emotionally open with your spouse? Such resolutions express the moral ambitiousness of a person wanting to improve his self and life. So, what is the philosophic meaning of a New Year's resolution? Well, every resolution you make on this day implies that you are in control of self, that you're not a victim of fated circumstances, controlled by the stars, owned by luck. No, friend, you are an individual who can make choices to change your life. You can learn statistics, ask for a promotion, fight your shyness, search for that perfect marriage partner, because your life is in your hands. But what is the purpose of making such goals and resolutions? Why bother? Making New Year's resolutions and doing so even after failing last year really does stress the fact that people want to be happy. On New Year's Day, many people accept, often more implicitly than explicitly, the happiness that comes from the achievement of values. That is why you do resolve to be healthier, more ambitious, more confident, and that you want to enjoy the sense of purpose, accomplishment, and pleasure that you achieve when you achieve your values, your hopes, your dreams, and the things that you look forward to. Is it happiness that is the motor and the purpose of one's life? Is it the new year, more than any other day, that makes the attainment of happiness more real and possible? Well, this is the meaning of New Year's Day and why it is so important and significant to people around the world. Because if you were to apply the value achievement meaning of New Year's Day explicitly and consistently 365 days a year, there is no doubt you would be happier. But it's a goal. It's a dream. It's a plan. And friends, it doesn't come easy. You really are going to have to work on it if you want it to be a lasting change in your life. So every day, fill your life to the brim with your values. Drink deep into your life and the joy that it can be, and it should be, not only for a happy new year, but for a happy life. I liked that. That was from Scott McConnell, called What is the Meaning of the New Year? Now, it was also interesting when I went online to read about New Year's traditions. Oh, goodness, everybody does it a little differently. But I liked this next article. It's by Esty Tesherow, and it's called The Meaning of New Year's and New Year's Traditions. And she says this: aside from the noise-making and festivity, the new year has a deeper meaning in the past, much more than our current times. The measure and meanings as usually associated with the moon cycles and shifts of the season, with New Year celebrations that's usually observed at this time. One of the things she talks about is the value of making resolutions. The New Year Eve celebration is a time for recollecting the days that have passed, remembering what we have learned, and making changes in order to get the new year off to a good start. We make resolutions, the promises to ourselves to eat better, exercise more, and make better choices. I don't know of any other time I've ever heard someone make a resolution to be less than what they were before. But our resolutions do carry a fragment of the idea that we can do better than what we've done in the past. Most resolutions come and go as quickly as the parties we attend in celebration. And it's difficult to live up to the ideal or theory, and most resolutions are just that, an idea that sounds good but doesn't always fit neatly into our everyday world. Maybe if we chose a certain day to focus on those things we'd like to focus on in the new year, like spending an hour each Saturday to practice or observe our resolution, we would have a greater chance of turning our goal into success. Because with each new breath, friends, comes a new opportunity. We could also recognize that the measure of a year isn't only the time that we use to measure. We have moon cycles, days, and breaths for our symbols of the ebb and flow, the beginning and the end. We can choose to fill one breath cycle with appreciation and later bring the joy and the message of life to another. As for that bigger picture, the new year, maybe it should be a time to remember our purpose, preparing our sails to catch the next wind, and let the breath of our lives take care of the rest. I liked that. That is from Esty Tesherow, The Meaning of the New Year and New Year's Traditions, and I've edited it. So it was interesting. I was online. So what are the top 10 New Year's resolutions? I'm pretty sure these are the same ones you had last year. So online, they're telling me for the year 2015, the new year has always been a time for looking back to the past and, more importantly, forward to the coming year. It's a time to reflect on the changes we want or need to make and resolve to follow through on those changes. So I'm wondering, did your resolution make this top 10 list? Resolution number 1, spend more time with family and friends. A recent poll conducted by General Nutrition Centers, Quicken, and others show that 50% of Americans vow to appreciate loved ones and spend time with friends and family this year. Resolution number 2, fit in fitness. The evidence is in for fitness. Regular exercise has been associated with health benefits, probably better than anything we can do. Studies show that exercise reduces the risk of cancer, increases longevity, help achieve and maintain weight loss, enhances mood, lowers blood pressure, it even improves arthritis. In short, exercise keeps you healthy and makes you look good and feel better. Resolution number 3, tame the bulge. 55% of Americans are overweight. Yikes. So it's not surprising to find that weight loss is one of the most popular New Year's resolutions. But friends, you've got to set a reasonable goal, stay focused, and probably the two most important factors in sticking with a program is that you have got to commit and think about what you eat. Number 4, I was surprised at this one, but it's quit smoking. If you've resolved to make this year the year that you stamp out your smoking habit, over-the-counter availability of nicotine replacement therapy will help. Now, even if you've tried and failed, please don't let it get you down. On average, they say smokers try about 4 times before they quit for good. Oh, friend, if you're a smoker, start enjoying the rest of your life smoke-free, and let's break that habit. Number 5, enjoy life more. Given the hectic, stressful life of the Americans, it's no wonder that enjoying life more has become a popular resolution in the recent years. Number 6, a lot of people have decided to quit drinking. Now, a lot of people use this as kind of a time to make drastic changes in their life. And if you have a problem with alcohol, I need you to slowly back it down, friends, to the point that perhaps you're not drinking at all. It's not really good for you, especially if you don't handle it well. So if your resolution is to quit drinking, I'm going to cheer you on. Resolution number 7 is get out of debt. So money is a major stress in most people's life, but you could join the millions of Americans who have resolved to spend this year getting a handle on their finances. And it's a promise that will repay itself many times in years ahead. Resolution number 8, learn something new. Hey, have you vowed to make this year the year to learn something new? Are you going to have a career change? Do you need to learn a new language or just learn how to fix your computer? Are you going to take a course or read a book? Or are you going to learn a new word? Friend, keep learning something. Resolution number 9 is to help others. It's probably the most popular, non-selfish New Year's resolution. Volunteerism can take many forms, but friend, you've got to take time to either spend it helping out at the library, mentoring a child, building a house, or helping your own family. And New Year's resolution number 10, friend, get organized. On every New Year's resolution top 10 list, organization is probably the most reasonable goal that you can do. Whether you want your home organized, your office, your life, your family, your friends, just the little things you can find the stapler. Oh, friend, get organized. Make a difference. So you can make a difference in your new clean slate New Year life. All right, it's a new year. We have a lot of great things that will happen this year. I'm excited that you've joined me. Thank you for being a part of my New Year's resolution, Encouragement for Your Life. I've got a lot of great guests who are already lined up for this season. Hope you'll stay tuned. My guest today is a good friend of mine, and we're going to talk about your health and prosperity simply by building a good, healthy body. And then my guest next week is Joe Fenton of Dark Corner Distillery, talking about entrepreneurship and then building the business of your dreams. And I've got a lot of other great guests who are lined up throughout the year. Friend, I hope you have a wonderful week. And as we were talking about, if maybe you would make every Saturday, every little bit of time before or after my show, to think about the goals you're setting for this year, I know that you'll accomplish great things. And I'll be here to cheer you on. I'm Deb Sofield. This is Encouragement for Your Life. Friend, I care about you. I want you to be successful. And I wish you the happiest of holidays and a blessed new year. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Hi folks, Deb Sofield here, author of the book Speak Without Fear. I've been in the battlefield of business and politics for over 30 years. I know and understand how the game works. In today's marketplace, you don't have a choice. We're in a media age of Twitter, blogs, Facebook, and 24-hour news cycle. Either you move quickly and decisively to define your product, your company, or yourself, or others will define you. You can't afford to miss the mark because the public won't give you a second chance and the media is unforgiving, and YouTube will replay your remarks until you've been ground into dust. Whether it's crafting your message to protect you or your company, or putting you on camera to answer the questions that will resonate with reporters and the public, or preparing you for an interview, let me help you be successful. I'm Deb Sofield. Contact me through my website, debsofield.com. All right, we are back again. I am so glad to have a friend in the studio with me. Her name is Dr. Leslie Burgess. I met Dr. Burgess a while back, and we've become friends. And as we were thinking about the new year, I got to thinking I really need to get Leslie on the show to help you understand how your body works, because you're in a very stressful time. And so with all of her information and knowledge, I thought she'd be an excellent guest. Dr. Leslie Burgess is a graduate of the University of Georgia with a Bachelor of Science in Plant Biology. It was that degree that fueled her desire to learn more about plant-based medicine, and she continues to explore the chemical properties of plants and uses them to this day. She achieved her doctorate at Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington, and holds her license to practice medicine in the state of Washington. She's IV certified for nutritional therapy and has increased her nutritional standing by becoming a certified nutrition specialist. She has a certificate from Cornell in plant-based nutrition and is about to finish up her neurofeedback training to obtain a BCIA accreditation. Additionally, she holds a license in body work that she finds useful when helping people address acute and chronic pain. So, Dr. Burgess, I'm going to call you Leslie since I know you. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for asking me.
Oh, great. All right, so listen, toughest time of the year for people. Stress, ate too much, drank too much. Now they feel miserable. How are we going to go into the new year? What are some things we could talk about today to get them started?
Well, some of the things we could talk about are breathing techniques, nutrition, and I thought maybe we'd discuss a couple of herbal remedies they could use.
Excellent. We'll start with breathing, but I want to focus a little bit more on the whole concept of stress. People find stress anywhere in their lives, and you see it throughout the holidays. So we're seeing a change in mood, weight gain. Oh, that's not good. Bad sleeping habits.
Yes. You see people that are very stressed out. You see them angry when they're shopping, when you know they're probably not normally angry. You see people honking the horn when they're in line in traffic. You see people have a stress response where they can increase their cortisol response, which may lead to weight gain. And then you also see people that just aren't sleeping at night because for whatever reason, maybe they can't buy the present they want to buy. Many different things.
So when you're talking to somebody about trying to reduce their stress, what are some things you encourage them to do?
One of the things I encourage people to do is to breathe using their diaphragm. And diaphragmatic breathing is a tool you can practice to decrease your stress level.
So when I say to folks, diaphragmatic breathing you do naturally when you sing, if you really, because that's that muscle that is used. As a speaker, I've developed that too a little bit, but I find myself breathing shallow a lot. And I have to really think about taking a deep breath. Why does deep breathing matter for the body?
So when you inhale, you activate a part of your nervous system that is more of your stress response, so your sympathetic nervous system. And often you see people inhale, but you don't see them exhale. So you see them inhale, and they're talking, and they don't exhale. And so that can throw off your rhythm of your nervous system.
Really? By not exhaling?
Yes.
So the doctor says, breathe in, breathe out.
Yes.
You're really making sure that I'm going to breathe out.
Yes.
Okay. Why does that matter?
Well, you can discuss it as variation in your heart rate.
Okay.
So if we maintain a good variation in our heart rate, then we have more good health have a better health outcome.
Okay.
Have better health outcomes.
All right. Okay. So just breathing. What's interesting is that I think people think about breathing. I think people think they do deep breathing, but I watch them speaking or talking and I see that shallow breathing, which I see as a speaker creates a lot of fear because there's not a deep breath to kind of calm the body down.
Exactly.
Deep breathing before you go to bed at night, throughout the day, is it something we have to consciously work at?
It's something most people have to consciously look at. When you see toddlers, you see their little bellies stick out when they're breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. And that's really how we're supposed to breathe. But many people forget how to do that as they get older.
So is there a certain count I should do?
A count to achieve would be counting to 5 as you take an inhalation.
Wait, so am I counting already?
So you're counting as you're inhaling.
Okay.
And as you're inhaling, if you would like to place your palm of your hand over your diaphragm, so just at the base of your rib cage.
Okay, if you're driving, don't do this, but for the rest
Yes.
of you at home, okay?
So as you inhale, you should feel your hand actually move away from your spine for a count of 5.
What if it doesn't? Or maybe I just have too much in the middle there. I'm not feeling a whole lot there. I had too much cake for our holidays.
Well, you just have to work on pushing that muscle out.
Okay, so I've pushed it out. I'm counting to 5, and then what am I doing?
Then as you exhale, your hand will then come closer to your spine, and that's actually a longer count. So you want to count to approximately 6, and that's about 5.5 breaths per minute.
So I'm going to breathe that many times per minute?
Yes.
So it's not one count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, it's a slower count. And that's not easy to do when you first start doing it. So you
Okay.
may start, with a count of 4 as you inhale and a count of 5 as you exhale. You can play with it.
And does that type of breathing just help me be less stressed? How can breathing take away the troubles of the world, Leslie?
Well, it engages the calming nervous system. So it just teaches, it's really a reinforcement throughout your nervous system to be in a more calm state. And if you're in a more calm state, people are going to ask you, how are you in that calm state? And you can teach them.
Okay, just for the record, nobody has ever asked me about being in a calm state. So I obviously have something to work at. All right, so when you tell people to slow down and breathe, and they say, really, how does that affect my health? Does it affect my brain, my hands, my fingers, my toes?
All of that. Yes. It can help to decrease your pain response. It can help to improve cardiovascular function. It can help to improve chemicals in your brain. So mood. Yes, all of it.
Okay. All right. I would assume this is kind of well known. People know to breathe, but they don't know why.
They don't know why. And a lot of times when I ask people to diaphragmatically breathe, I still see their shoulders rise really high, and I don't see their diaphragm move at all. So I think
that's clavicle breathing, where it's like you're just really trying to get air in quickly, like you're running upstairs.
So I think it's just, what I see is people, once they start practicing, they really like it. It's just taking the 5 or 10 minutes a day to practice it that, people don't always find.
All right. Let's talk about pain. I see people with chronic pain all the time. And the drug industry is making a fortune on chronic pain. What are some things people can do, maybe through diet or increasing their water? Or maybe, is it true I should add lemon to my water? Is there any benefits of that? It's probably just to help increase the water intake. But what are some things we can do for pain?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do for pain. One is like the deep breathing, like we just discussed. So if you find that you're in sharp pain and you start engaging this breathing technique, your pain level often decreases. If the source of pain is inflammation, then there's there's supplements you can take, such as high-dose fish oil or curcumin. There are a whole list of herbs you can take to help to combat pain. There's obviously the pharmaceuticals you can use.
Now, you're more of the nutrition side, so I know that you believe in fish oil and maybe using things like turmeric for pain, just a more natural, where you would get anywhere, but making sure it's pure if you're going to take a vitamin like that. Why do the herbs really work in such a stress-filled body that's already filled with chemicals by what we eat?
It's a good question. Herbs generally take a little longer to work, and you generally have to take them more often and over a longer period of time. And sometimes when someone has excruciating pain, they're going to actually need a pharmaceutical to lower that pain initially. And then working with their prescribing doctor, if they want to try something else, they can slowly get off of the more invasive chemical and maybe slowly work in a plant or a nutritional supplement.
I think when you and I were talking earlier, I started getting on turmeric for my arthritis to kind of really help, see what it could do. More natural, didn't cause any harm. It actually did tend to lower the pain. I also find when I go to the Thai restaurant and eat green curry and with chicken and rice, I feel better too. So I understand that curry is also another thing that helps relieve pain if you're looking from a more nutritional side. We're going to run to a quick break. We're going to come back and I want to talk about diet. Not that I want everyone to go on a diet because I think nobody follows them, but are some things that maybe we can add in as we're trying to build better health for the new year. And I know you've got some ideas about that. And I know you speak a lot about drinking fresh water. Just really, letting the body become more hydrated, especially in colder weather. Does the body lose? Why do they need more water now?
Well, warmer water is more easily digested, or more absorbed, I should say. I don't know why cold water makes you more dehydrated.
Okay, we'll be right back and we'll figure out that answer. I'm Deb Sofield. You're listening to Encouragement for Your Life. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly radio show that encourages you to live your best life ever. If you miss a week, you can find my show on iTunes, click on Podcasts, then type my name, Deb Sofield, in the subject line at the top, and all my shows will appear. It's a great way to keep up with my weekly series, or you can also download them to listen later. If your company would like more information about public speaking or presentation or media skills, contact me at debsofield.com. There you can also sign up for my newsletter, which is a recap of my shows and is full of good information for your success. My book, Speak Without Fear, is available on Amazon.com. You can order your copy today. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. All right, we are back again. My guest today is Dr. Leslie Burgess. I've asked her to come on to talk about health, relaxation. Hey folks, it's a stressful time, but I wanted you to start thinking about things you can start doing. I'm not going to argue about what you ate for the holidays. I always give people fiat for the holidays. Eat whatever you want. As Dr. Burgess is looking at me like, Deb, I can't believe you said that on the radio. But you know what, Leslie, if you don't let people eat what they want, they're going to do it anyway, and then they gorge. So isn't it okay to do a little bit of chocolate?
Yes, it's fine to do a little bit of chocolate. It's better if you do, a 70% dark chocolate over a milk chocolate because the milk chocolate is more just milk and sugar, whereas the dark chocolate has more of an antioxidant property. I'm
with you. I am all about dark chocolate on strawberries, dark chocolate on pretzels, dark chocolate on you're looking at me like, no, dark chocolate on peanuts, on everything else. I have another question for you. I read somewhere that people should drink a lot of water. When we went to the break, you and I were talking about, well, how much water do you need to drink? I have friends who are not thirsty. They just say, well, Deb, I'm not thirsty. I'm like, you still have to drink water. Because when you are thirsty, you've probably now dehydrated. Do you find a lot of your clients and people are dehydrated?
I do. I find a lot of people will even tell me they're dehydrated. They know they aren't drinking enough water, but yet still they don't do it. So I usually suggest for them to actually purchase a water bottle that they really like and have them fill it up, a couple times a day. Because if people have something they can keep track of and that they enjoy seeing, they're more often, do whatever that habit is.
How about Gatorade? I mean, does that fill the void too? Cup of coffee, iced tea?
Gatorade a long time ago had a lot less sugar than it does now, so it was more so filling the void. Now it has a pretty high sugar content, so less likely to fill the void. You can use some of the different packets such as Emergency, and there's a lot of other ones like that to help supplement your electrolytes. Coffee, that's sort of a mixed response. Some people say you should drink extra water when you drink coffee, but then a lot of the research says that you don't really deplete your water intake by drinking coffee. So
okay. Kind of hard to know. So,
yes.
But I would assume that you need to be drinking. How about diet sodas? I know you're going to say no diet soda. But if I want a soda, drink regular?
I would drink a small regular soda if I'm going to drink a soda.
Okay. I tend to do club soda with a little bit of lime or something in it just to kind of I like the bubbles. I don't know why the bubbles help settle my stomach, or sometimes I kind of enjoy that. What are some foods we should add into our diet? I know you're really big about nuts and beans and green.
Lots of vegetables. A lot of people I see when they first come in are eating lots of protein. So not really a worry that they're not getting enough of that. Some people are pretty aware if they're eating a lot of simple carbohydrates. So we discussed that. But I generally try to get people to add vegetables to every meal.
To breakfast? What am I going to eat for breakfast?
You can make an omelet.
Ah, okay. All right. I'm sitting there. Cheerios doesn't have, Cocoa Pebbles does not have any vegetable with it. Okay. So we're going to add a little bit of vegetable to everything we do. What else?
I generally try to get people to not get rid of, but decrease the amount of simple carbohydrates they're eating.
Is that breads?
It's
pastas, breads?
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And if they're going to eat, the carbohydrates, then I try to get them to eat more sweet potatoes and potatoes, and there's lots of different types of rice that I think are good to add in. You can buy rice pasta. You can buy quinoa. Quinoa is a really good, it's seed/grain to use because it's higher in protein.
But I have other people who say don't eat too many grains. It's kind of I guess everywhere you hear somebody has a big idea, but you have your doctorate, so I'm going to listen to you a little bit more than the next person.
Well, you wouldn't want to eat too many of them, but they're good to have with different meals. Like you said, if you don't have certain things, you're going to binge.
Yeah. Are you adamant that I eat breakfast?
I do think it's a really good idea.
Why?
Because it starts your metabolism, and because it seems that when people don't eat breakfast, they gorge at lunch, or they decide that they can eat whatever it is they feel like because they didn't eat breakfast. And I also think it helps to stabilize people's blood sugar so that they're not, all of a sudden getting really angry at 11 o'clock.
Okay. And sometimes with the drop in blood sugar, it affects their personalities like that?
Yes.
Huh. I was just at a friend's office the other day, and they had chocolate-covered pretzels and then a bowl of fruit. And I'm like, really? That's a tough decision. But I got the piece of fruit, knowing that if I had eaten, I can't eat just one chocolate-covered pretzel. I had to do the rest of them. My other question for you is, how about soy milk? You hear a lot that we should be drinking almond milk, soy milk, getting away from whole milk, because we're adults and the human body wasn't made. Babies need milk, but adults don't. What do you think about that idea?
So by whole milk, you mean dairy milk, right?
Dairy milk, yeah.
I think if you're going to drink dairy milk, whole milk is probably, it has a larger fat content. The vitamins that are added into it are fat soluble. So if you're going to drink dairy milk, then I do think it's better that you drink one with a higher fat content.
See, that's why I like you. Good. And then I could have some with chocolate in it.
Sure, dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate milk, okay.
With no sugar. But I do see a large number of people who are drinking dairy milk and then complaining of bloating or a mixture of, loose stools or constipation. And when they do change to soy milk or almond milk, sometimes rice milk, they do feel better. Eggs are not dairy. A lot of people think eggs are dairy, so in case anyone's wondering. Cheese is dairy, yogurt is dairy, but you can find alternatives for both yogurt and cheese. So you can have all of those things if you want them in different forms.
Okay. And most people think that my plate should be colorful, meaning that there should be a lot with the fruits and the vegetables, but have a little more color on the plate. Great way to eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, for children, you can do a rainbow diet where you actually put a chart in the house and has all the colors of the rainbow, and you give them stickers, and when they complete a rainbow every day, they get something like a ticket. And once they get a certain amount of tickets, they get to go on a field trip to the movies, whatever. And kids really, or at least the kids I've seen, really like it.
So what would I eat on the colors of the rainbow? Let's see here. Pink. What's pink?
Pink is not,
it's not one of the colors?
I mean, you could
cotton
eat
candy.
Watermelon.
Cotton candy's pink. I'll take watermelon, all right.
Blue.
I know green. Oh, what's blue?
Blue's the hard one. Blue is blueberries, blue potatoes, and you can maybe stretch it with blue corn chips.
I like your thinking. Okay. Any certain vitamins that we should probably try to increase in our body by eating whole or a whole food?
Well, since we were talking about time of stress, B vitamins are often depleted during stressful times. So there are a lot of foods you can eat to replenish those B vitamins, or you can choose to take them in a supplemental form.
What are some B vitamin foods?
It really depends on the B vitamin, but some of the foods are halibut, eggs. You'll see them in soybeans. And then a lot of people in the South are eating okra and turnip greens, especially around the New Year. So
Fried okra, right? That's okay? Fried okra?
Actually, no one's going to like this, but if you boil okra, you get that mucilage, that thick, slimy stuff that no one really likes to have when they cook okra. And that's actually really good for your digestion. So if you're having indigestion, that's actually a good thing to eat.
Yeah, not going to happen, but thanks. Yeah, I'll be reaching for something else, Leslie. What are some other things that are good B vitamins to get me started? Someone said I should eat oysters. I like oysters, but I like them like Oysters Rockefeller, which has everything you're telling me I can't have.
Oysters and clams are a good source, yes.
Okay.
So is salmon, lentils, and then not that I'm encouraging a large amount of meat, but including meat is a good source of B12.
Okay. How about vitamin C? We're coming into cold and flu season. Should I be eating oranges or drinking orange juice?
Well, it depends on where you're getting your orange from, I suppose. If it's oranges in season, then it's probably going to be a pretty good orange. Otherwise, orange juice is a fine thing to drink. If people like peppers, red peppers are a really good source of vitamin C. So a lot of the vegetables and fruits that you see that are bright red or orange are really good sources.
Okay. Do I need vitamin C in the winter?
You need vitamin C. If you're going to take vitamin C, it's actually best to take it all the time, all year round. That's actually a better way to improve your immune system than if you take it, every now and again. It doesn't seem to help with your immune system as much.
All right, very good. A couple of things that you say to help reduce stress. I want to get back to this. You are a big proponent of Epsom salt, the stuff our grandparents used to do. Why does that work?
I am. Epsom salts work because they are a source of magnesium that you can absorb. And when you're stressed, you often feel that you've tensed your muscles, even though some people don't even notice they're walking around with big tensed shoulders. And when you're contracting those muscles, you're constantly using a source of calcium. So when you use the Epsom salts, the magnesium is absorbed. And magnesium actually can inhibit the calcium, the use of calcium by the muscles, so it helps them to relax.
Okay. So it makes sense to take a hot bath, then put a cup of Epsom salts in.
Yes.
Listen, I could talk about this all day long because I am interested in health. I know you're thinking, well, not enough, Deb, but I am interested in health since I am a big proponent of Krispy Kreme. But we're going to run out of time, Leslie. So I'm curious, what is your word, what is your book, and why are public speaking skills important?
My word, appropriately, is to breathe.
Wow, breathe. Deep breath. Should I write down deep breathing or breathing?
Deep breathing.
Deep breathing. Okay, 5 in, 6 out.
Yes.
All right, I got that down. 5 in, 6 out. Good. What's your book?
My book, let's see. We could do Forks Over Knives. Forks Over Knives is a good book, or The China Study is a pretty good book.
What's Forks Over Knives?
It talks about plant-based nutrition, really. Using a fork, so you pick up plants, so salad, versus using a knife to cut your meat.
I'll have to put that out there. Sounds like an interesting book. I knew you would be all about eating my vegetables. That's good. All right. So, Leslie, why are public speaking skills important?
Well, as you know, when you're teaching public speaking, you often see people speaking without stopping, as we talked about, to exhale. And so I believe that public speaking can help you to improve your deep breathing.
Well, it does that, or people get so nervous they breathe really, really quickly. So I think that makes a big difference, too. Well, Leslie, if somebody wants to reach you, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put you onto the website. I'll put your web address so people can find you that way to figure out how to get in touch with you to begin the process of good health in the new year. And the name of the company is?
Professional Wellness.
Professional Wellness. And you picked that because you are more interested in a sense, I'm going to say a more holistic. That's how we met.
Yes.
Early on you said, Deb, before you start doing crazy stuff, kind of moderate, see what works well, see what doesn't work well. If someone takes Vitamin stores seem to do a huge business. I don't know how much of that really works. So I know that you're really into eating the best you can with the natural foods that are available in season.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. And for that what does that do to the body? Just kind of help?
Well, it helps the entire body function correctly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the foundation of your health.
Do you think the body knows when it's winter, summer, spring by the foods we eat? I'd be curious.
I think most people's are probably a little off because we haven't been eating that way. But I think that when you start eating that way, it's really more about just the sources of nutrients that are in the soil based on what time of year and for what plant.
Whatever they're doing. All right, Leslie, final thing before anybody starts to drink themselves into the new year, drink water along with it, fruit juice, water, hot tea. I know you're a big hot tea person.
Water, green tea would be a good thing to be drinking.
Okay.
There's lots of teas I could sit here and tell you to drink.
But we'll just keep it to that, folks. I want you to be very careful as you're coming into this new year. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. You'll see the information to reach Dr. Leslie Burgess on my website. Thanks for being with me. Have a great Saturday.
WGTK FM, Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson. Conservative Talk, 94.5.